Good afternoon, New York. How are you? Is everybody ready for the debate tonight? I'm still trying to figure out how I can watch it live. I might have to watch it with a delay. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So we had Monday Night Football, first Monday night game of the year. Packers, Jets, Aaron Rodgers. No, that wasn't the Monday night game. That was a Sunday game. Sunday night game? Who played last night? 49ers and the Jets. Yeah. Well, it was Aaron Rodgers versus Purdy, and I got to tell you something. Aaron got a little upset during the game. You could see he was upset with his players. And when that happens, usually bad things occur afterwards. This is not going to be a happy family in Jetland. I don't think they're going to be very good. Maybe average for an NFL team. I don't think they're going to get too far above. If they get above average, I don't think they're going too far. They're not a playoff team. They have a defense that just couldn't handle the 49ers, and there's a few teams like the 49ers in that league, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But other than that, I don't think there was any serious injuries. 49ers just with using Mason at running back instead of McCaffrey proved they have depth. So I think the 49ers are definitely a team to beat this year. We'll have to wait and see. That's season's long and you never know. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, J.D. Vance. Now, I know he's not well. I don't know exactly what his problem is. I think he's a frustrated fiction writer. He wants to write stories, or fairy tales, whatever. I don't know. But he came out with this latest story about Haitian people are eating their neighbors' cats. Now, let me tell you something. It's possible when they're starving to death. They'll do anything. And I'm not gonna. If they're starving, I'm not gonna get upset. They have to do what they have to do to survive. There were stories in the New York Times, a long time ago, about the elderly people, I think in Brooklyn, that were eating dog food because they couldn't afford regular food. And it turned out that the dog food they were eating, the meat that they were eating was probably better than the hamburger and stuff that they could buy in the store. Okay? It was like what they were doing was eating a better grade of meat with hamburger helper, which was what the dog food was, basically. I know the name. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get anybody trying to sue me or something like that. I got no money. And I don't want to disappoint those people when they come after me. But that, why even say something like that? You know the story of people living in Haiti, okay? If you watch any kind of news, that's extreme poverty. Unless you're a soldier or unless you're an aristocrat. If you're an average person in Haiti, Haiti has extreme poverty. Every time that we send Red Cross packages down there, the criminals steal the stuff and sell it at exorbitant prices. So these people aren't, giving aid to that country. It's like you're giving aid to the criminals that are running the country. I have no idea what the solution is. Every time they try to, overthrow a government or something like that, they get somebody worse. So, what can I tell you? It's not you take a nice person, put them in power down there, and all of a sudden they're like a king, They get like Trump. I'm king. I can do anything I want. You can't stop me. It's just a sad situation. I don't know what the solution is, You know, the politicians say, well, we need to send more foreign aid there, and yeah, if you can secure it so that it's used for the right purposes, I'm all for it. But it's not being secured, and it's not being used for the right purposes or going to the right people. That's been the history of foreign aid to Haiti for a long. That's why they have these problems every so often down there. All right, okay, that takes care of that. Next on the agenda. Sport betting. Oh, people are so stupid. You know, you can bet on anything anywhere now, you know, sports-wise. 10 years ago you couldn't. It was illegal. You know, all my betting was done with bookies. I couldn't go I had to go to Vegas to bet the sports books, you know, football and everything like that. If I didn't want to, you know, but I'd rather bet with my bookie because I didn't pay taxes on my winnings. Anyhow, now it's it's mainstream now, okay? And I have a theory about that, which is probably going to be ridiculed tremendously, but I believe that by allowing that to happen, you're keeping people in debt. They don't want people to be in the kind of debt where, you know, you don't have any money at all. They want you to just have enough debt that you can't get ahead, you really get ahead in life, you know, that you can't become a threat to their form of society. You know what I mean? First of all, you can't win betting, all right? If you go through a year and you have a winning streak, trust me, you're going to go through, if you don't quit betting right then, which I did, you're going to lose, all right? I tell you the story. I think I put this out on the air in one of my videos. I don't know under what title it was in here, but there's a guy in Vegas. I don't know whether he's still alive or not. Amarillo Slim, he was called. He played poker for a living. He was one of the first people to ever file an income tax return that said professional gambler on it. Okay? And they interviewed him on a television program up in the United States called 60 Minutes, which is still on, and it was one of my favorite shows on Sunday evenings, and I still, I don't watch it anymore, obviously, but I miss that. But anyhow, and he said in an interview that he'd been a millionaire 3 times and he'd been stone cold broke 3 times. That's the nature of gambling. Okay? They tell you the house controls it. The house has the odds. Well, when you play, that's one of the things people don't understand. When you play against, when you play this new game they call, I forgot the name, and I play it all the time. It's a poker game anyhow, you know, and the deal with that is, the dealer controls the game, all right? You can't blame the card. You're playing against the cards. You say you're playing against the other people. Well, if you're dumb enough to be able to give your hand away when you see it, you know, wow, you know, before you get to bet it, or you don't understand the odds. If you're going into a game with, you have 2-3 in your hand, and they deal you out, the 4 cards that come across are an ace, a 6, and a 4, and a 5. Your bet is, you've got a straight. You can win. So long as somebody doesn't have a higher straight. And you just don't, if you have what they call 6, 10 unsuited. In other words, a 6 of spades and a 10 of hearts. The odds of you winning with that hand are not great. Now, if the flop comes and there isn't a 10 in it, you get the hell out of there. Okay, because you can't beat what's there. Because you know, your 10 isn't good enough. If you have an ace, it's a different story in that game. You know, but you're never going to win big. I mean, you know, these guys that win big and become millionaires write books telling other people how to win. They don't make it playing poker. Okay, these guys go into these games. It's like golfers. Golfers have sponsors. People that they think the guy is good, they pay him to go out on the tour, they get him into the tour, they pay him to travel, they pay his expenses. Then when he starts to win, he owes a ton of money. And he has to pay these people because these people aren't nice. In the gambling professions, it's the same thing. You get what they call a stake. You see these guys go over to these groups of people that are watching him play. They're all invested in him. Now, I don't know how much they invest in him, 10,000 apiece, but whatever it is, those guys aren't rich. Right? They think he's that good because he could beat them every Saturday night or something like that, He wins a lot of money in local games. He wins a lot of money on the internet games. It's still not, you're still not going to, it's very difficult to make a living gambling. Okay, a good living. You can make a living, a good living, to live high and high, because you owe so much money and you're constantly borrowing to stay in it, because, I'm good for it, I'll come back. I don't think so. Anyhow, I'm done with that. Moving on. But that's my opinion. Sports betting is designed to keep you from becoming rich. It's designed to, where was it used? In Rollerball, I think, or something like that. That movie. What you'll understand what I'm talking about if you see that. Anyhow, going on with Project 2025, they wanted it's in Project 25 to defund daycare. Now, you want all women to have kids. If you don't have kids, then your Vance doesn't like you. You're an enemy of the state or whatever, according to J.D. Vance. Let me tell you something. I love kids. I enjoy talking to kids. I never wanted my own kids. I don't think I have the right personality to be a father, and that's why I didn't do it. And I'm afraid of responsibility of that kind. And a lot of other things going on in my life back then. All right? So, now you want them to have kids, but you want to take daycare away from them. So now, somehow or another, you have to get your family involved in raising the kids. Okay? Or you have to make enough money to pay a babysitter. All right? Now, I don't know what they're paying babysitters nowadays, but you're paying the local kid to come in and watch your kid, or your neighbor, and these people aren't trained. And they don't get me wrong, I understand untrained people watching kids. There are, because it's an expensive proposition to get trained. There's a lot of, because of the legalities involved in it, because people will sue you if you screw up the kid, But to take that away from them, where are they going to get the money from? Because right now it's not cheap, and even if they reduce the cost of daycare sufficiently, okay, then you can have it. But they don't want any government funding for the daycare. In other words, they want you to go out and hire basically somebody off the street, or your neighbor. I don't know how close you are with your neighbors. I am not close with I haven't been close with my neighbors in, 15, 20 years, longer than that. When I first moved into Parsippany, I knew everybody that was there. 6 years later, I couldn't tell you who was there. Couldn't tell you the names. Just the way society changed in that short period of time. Of course, I was never home either. I was an alcoholic. Usually when I came home, nobody was alive, or awake rather. Okay, I think that's going to be it for me today. Listen, I'm going to do my best. I got one way or the other. I'll get information. Either I'll have to watch videos of it, put together some sort of opinion about what's going on. But I hope to see it live, because I would love to see Trump just fall apart. You know, that's just, I'd love to see that. Anyhow, that's it for me today, and I will see you tomorrow.